Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, KIZUNA is upon us. It is a regular KIZUNA clash, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our EXP, Momo, and or Marco teams for the 10-star KIZUNA. Now, before we dive into this particular event, I do want to preface that this is by far one of the worst KIZUNAs we've ever seen. And look, I know we say that with every treasure map and every KIZUNA that comes around. We always say, look, this one is way worse than the last. And obviously it needs to be because of exponential growth and power creep and all of that fun stuff when it comes to gachas. However, this particular 10-star is actually insane. Like, look at this last boss. The enemy is 3 separate colors. And, like, that is the final boss stage right there. Like, that is what the final stage does. Just, it's kind of nuts what they are doing with these 10 stars. But like I said, it is a regular 10-star KIZUNA for the 6+ of Zeph, for the movie celebration that they're doing over here on OPTC. And in today's video, like I said, we're going to be going through our EXP teams. So, let's take a look at the first team. Now, if these teams help you guys out or enjoy the content, make sure to belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. With that said, let's dive in. Now, quick and in characters get all the good stuff on the strength variation. On stage 2, you get unfavorable orbs, and there's 5 turns of resilience. Very annoying stuff. The final boss has full immunity, except for increased damage taken, delay, and ignite, so you can do any of those 3. You take 100,000 damage on entry. Yeah, 100,000 damage. Kind of nuts. You get block orbs, 5 turns of defense up, and then after level 31, the damage becomes 200,000, which is why. There's 8 turns of despair, so 5 turns after sockets. You have a damage limiter for 1 turn that only allows you to do 70% of the enemy's maximum HP. Very annoying stuff. And then there's a defense up for an extra turn. If after 1 turn, so you just pass the turn naturally for a normal action, the enemy gives you an attack down for a chain multiplier of 7.0 for 4 turns. Very, very annoying stuff. Very annoying stuff. But, nevertheless, it is not actually impossible. So the first team looks like this. We are rocking Marco for the the strength variation. Both Marco and Momo don't get cooldowns for this fight, and Marco just seems to get cooldowns a lot easier than what Momo actually does. So utilizing Marco's superclass on turn 1, we have 5 fighters, so that works quite nicely. Means that we can bink his special on turn 2 to give us an attack boost. Now, you will get unfavorable orbs, but it's not that big of a problem because both Marcos will have matching orbs. Now, on this stage, on stage 2, we're going to be utilizing Jinbei here. Jinbei is actually going to give us 2 turns of Threshold, which is very, very good. So, any damage that exceeds 3,000, he's massively going to reduce for 2 turns. So, as long as we kill on that turn, we're going to be fine. We do have to get around resilience, and to do that, we are utilizing the Film Red Rare Recruit of Bluno and Kobe. Bluno and Kobe can remove 5 turns of resilience. They also give us damage reduction for 1 turn, and then they boost quick characters' attack by 2.25, but none of that actually matters, because we're going to have the fighter attack boost and the powerhouse attack boost from Marco, which is super nice. On the final stage, we're actually going to delay with our Black Maria unit. We're going to hopefully have the Marco special ready to go by that particular point. She rotates the block orbs, and she gives a slot effect boost for quick characters, which is nice. Marco's not going to get this, but that's okay, because we're banking our damage on our quick characters. She also gives us a 2 times conditional against delay as well, which is really, really nice. So, lovely stuff there from Black Maria. It's also 3 turns, so that way we can actually kill after that sort of damage limiter. We can then use the other Marco special, so we have the attack boost there, and like that should work nicely. To get around the Despair, we have the Whitebeard support, as well as the Opera support on Hack. Hack deals damage, which is awesome, but he also removes defense up 5 turns. You do need 6 turns after level 31, so that's why I have the page 1 support on Black Maria. But if you guys don't have that page 1 support, which I do understand, and you want to run this team anyway, you can actually utilize, there's an int carrot. She has this one here. I believe it's a raid carrot. She does 3 turns of defense up removal, and then she has a sailor. Whenever another quick character uses a special, she gives herself 3 turns of cooldown. So with this, you should be able to get back the 12 turns. You should. Definitely should. So you want to use carrot first in that situation. Then you want to use Black Maria. Maybe you won't, to be honest. It might be a little bit tricky to actually do so. But hey, the page 1 support definitely works. So that's versus strength. Now we verse Int, and that's always nice because Marco and Momo are side characters, so we are going to have some type advantage here. Shooters and free spirits get all the good stuff. On stage 2, there's special bind and defense up for 5 turns. Final stage, the boss has full immunity except for increased damage taken or ignites. There is 5 turns of despair after sockets, 5 turns of resilience, 5 turns of bind after sockets on your bottom row, and intimidate. If you use a slot boost, you lose the buff by 2.0, which is massive. And then after level 31, there is an extra turn of despair, extra turn of bind, and 5 turns of damage reduction. So, because free spirits get their cooldowns, we are going to be running Momo. We're going to run double Momo for this. Momo auto proc T special on turn 1, and then on turn 2, to get around the defense up and the special bind, we're actually going to be utilizing Hiyori. Now, you can use the double special of Hiyori very, very nicely, if you like, to just get around the special bind. She also sets defense to 0, and then she's also going to give you a chain boost, a 2-turn chain boost, I believe, and then she can actually extend it to 3 turns. However, I don't want to use the double special of Hiyori, mainly because I want the chain boost of Nami on the final stage. So I've got the support of Raizo on Momo, but that's not essential at all. It's just there. On turn 1 as well, you want to use the Luffy special, so that way you get the 5-turn orb boost. This way you can get around that intimidation, and you don't have to worry about losing it. Plus, you're also going to increase that orb boost on the final stage. Ivankov and Bon Clay, they're going to remove the bind and the despair. They're just here because, look, they are... they've got type advantage. That's pretty much it. But I imagine you could literally use like a Sabo and then use a Sabo super swap. That way you get color affinity as well. Like, that's probably going to be a lot nicer. But I thought I would sort of make it a bit more accessible for you guys as well. And finally, we've got Nami. Nami gets around the damage reduction. She uses chain boost. She uses base stats. She does all the good stuff. I don't think you'll have her super tandem here. I don't believe you will. But you could probably find a way to just like swap out Ivankov and Bon Clay for another bind and despair remover. And that way you could most likely get the Nami... What's it called? The Nami super tandem. I believe the despair actually comes first as well. Yeah, the despair comes first, so unfortunately you won't be able to just use Momo to get around the bind. There is resilience here as well. Momo's end-turn damage takes care of that, so don't stress. And with the Luffy on the team, you have access to Momo's super type as well, so you can actually get Wano slots too, so works quite nicely. That boss is actually fairly easy, compared to the other two anyway. Finally, we got the monster, the absolute novel of a boss, and this one is an absolute doozy, if I'm honest. Strength, Dex, and Quick get all the good stuff. On stage 2, there is a tap timing great for 4 times barrier, but it's only for 1 turn. Then you also get 5 turns of bind on your middle row, so it's 8 turns before sockets. Very annoying stuff. On the final stage, alright, here we go. Mixed types. The first type is Quick, then it goes Dex, then it goes Strength for 33, 33, 34%. There is full immunity, except for increased damage taken and ignite. You get a full board of bomb slots and unfavorable type slots and recovery for 5 turns, so all other orbs will become unfavorable. You have a attack down if you're above a 4.5 times chain. You will have an attack down if you're below a 3.0 chain. Increased damage taken to the crew by 3 times, 5 turns of damage reduction, and if you change your slots, you'll just get bomb slots again. If you use ignites, the enemy will turn bombs into favorable orbs and make them 2.5 times. So you kind of want to do this. On defeat, you cop 150,000 damage. Yes, 150,000. Why? And after level 31, the increased damage taken goes up to 4 turns. The damage reduction goes up by a turn. And then there's a barrier for 2 recovery orbs for 2 times for 2 turns. Super, super annoying. This boss has so much going on. Like, it's so much going on, and we managed to get it done with Marco, and it looks a little bit like this. So we are going to be using Marco on turn 1 in terms of using super class, so that way we can get the auto proc on turn 2. And then on turn 2, when we get the bind, we do need to kind of remove that, because there is a barrier. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. You can actually use the Akainu special to remove the 5 turns of bind that way, or you can actually use the Luffy and Ace special with the Whitey Bay support. Now, Whitey Bay is actually going to remove that barrier, and then you don't really have to worry about it. Utilizing their super swap as well is actually going to give you a chain boundary. which is quite nice. However, with this particular fight, you need to be above 3, but below 4.5. So, with Marco and the Luffy Ace Super Swap, you are going to have, like, too high of a chain, which is a little bit of a problem. So, ideally, you kind of want to use Luffy and Ace on turn 2, and then you can save the Akainu special for the final stage, so that way you can actually apply the Ignite. However, you don't have a way of rotating orbs with this particular team. I do believe Big Mom rotates block slots, but she doesn't rotate anything else. So it's a little bit of a tricky one, whichever way you guys want to go about utilizing whatever special on turn 2. But I do think that utilizing Akainu on this stage is actually going to be a little bit nicer. Utilizing Akainu means that you can just remove the bind, and then you just have to sort of tap through that barrier. You can use the Luffy Ace Super Swap here. Like I said, utilizing their Super Swap is going to put them in their dual form, which means you're going to get a much higher orb boost later down the line. You're not going to get their conditional boost because Marco is not a quick and a strength unit, or strength unit, but you're still going to get that orb buff. They're going to rotate your orbs, so then the enemy's going to rotate it back into bomb slots. Not that that really matters, but then they also apply the Ignite, which then turns the bomb slots into matching, and then you also get them as a 2.5 multiplier. So that's going to work quite nicely. On the final stage, though, you really want to make sure you're utilizing the Big Mom special. Big Mom is going to apply increased damage taken. I don't believe that increased damage taken works, if I remember correctly. Yeah, no, so you can apply increased damage taken, so that's actually awesome. She's going to do that. But she's also going to give you a chain lock, a 3.5 times chain lock. So that way, all your characters are going to do damage. I should really Limit Break expand her. She's such a good unit. And she removes the Enrage with that Limit Break ability. But on top of that, she also has the Daifuku support. Now, Daifuku is going to give me 2 recovery orbs to my adjacent slots. This is going to break the barrier, which is going to work so nicely. However, recovery orbs are unfavorable. And unfortunately, if you want to sort of maximize this and still have matching orbs on the rest of your team, you are going to have to look at sort of giving them to 2 units. So I've given them to Akainu and Sanji Pudding just because they have lower stats than what my Luffy and Ace does. But look, either way, that's going to work. So you have a chain lock with Big Mom. You can remove the damage reduction with Sanji Pudding. They're also a color affinity booster. Remember, you do need to start the damage with a... what's it called unit? A Dex unit, because Dex has type advantage, and then finishing off with a strength unit. So that's why Luffy Ace is going to sort of hit last, so you're hopefully going to wither the enemy down to this point. But like I said, this fight does so much, and there's so much going on. It's such a frustrating fight to deal with. But hopefully, if you're looking for EXP teams, these teams actually help you out. But if you enjoyed the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Obviously, as always, I forgot to mention this at the start of the video, these teams are subject to change because this is just me going off information. And once I do start actually playing the content, I do start to think about other units that do work better. But like I said, if you guys have any thoughts and opinions, let me know in the comment section below. Belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.